All right, today we are going to be looking at partial products, or the Big Seven. I've heard it called by you guys before. So this is a strategy that is very friendly to use for division, and here's why. You can use the multiplication facts that you know. You don't have to be able to get the number exactly right to divide. You can use whatever numbers you're comfortable with. So I know you guys have seen this before, but I want to make sure that everyone's got a good understanding of it. So let's take the problem 83 divided by 4. I have 83 divided by 4. Well, here's why we call it the Big Seven, because we just break it down and draw a big 7. And then we use the strategy of partial products to help ourselves take chunks out of this number. I like to think about it as taking chunks out of a cookie. My cookie has 83 pieces in it, and I can take those bites out at 4 groups at a time, okay? So one thing to remember is you are bound to multiplying 4 times something this entire time. You have to do 4 times to take the chunks out. That's the only thing you're allowed to do. So let's think of a number that'll let us take a chunk out of 83. 4 times what? Well, I know that 4 times 10 gives me 40, okay? So I'm gonna take 83 minus 40. So I'm taking a chunk out of it. These numbers over here are the partial products that I'm taking out of our full value of 83. So now I have 43 left. Well, I can repeat, that's not a big deal. I could do 4 times 10 again, which is 40, and be left with 3. So there's nothing times 4 that'll equal 3. So I know this is going to be my remainder. And you've done remainders before, so that shouldn't be too unfamiliar. But I need to know what number goes here. How many groups of 4 went into 83? Well, I can do that by circling the amount of groups I had and adding them together. 10 plus 10 gives me 20. So I have 20 remainder 3. I'm going to show you another one, and then I'm going to have you practice a couple on your own. So I have the number 6, and I'm going to divide it by 423. I'm going to draw my big 7, and then I'm going to use partial products to help myself figure out the answer. All right, 6 times 423. I'm thinking that I could do 6 times 100. Well, that's not gonna work. That's too big. All right, well, let's see. 6 times 10 gives me 60. That's not a very big chunk though. What if I did 6 times 20? Let's try that. 6 times 20. That's my basic fact of 6 times 2, which is 12, and tacking on a 0, which is 120. It's not the biggest chunk of the world, but it'll work. I can subtract, and now I have 303. Let's see if I can use another basic fact to help myself get something closer to 303. 6 times 4 is 24, tack on a 0, 240. I think I can go a little bigger. 6 times 5 is 30. What if I did 6 times 50? I'd end up with 300, okay? Because 6 times 5 is 30, and tack on a 0. So let's go ahead and take out the chunk of 300. Now I have 3 left over. There's nothing times 6 that equals 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put it as my remainder, and I'm going to add 20 and 50, and I get 70 remainder 3 here. All right? So if you didn't think of the same number chunks as I did, it's no big deal. As long as you got 70 remainder 3, that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and have you try one on your own. Let's do 92 divided by 3. Go ahead and draw your big 7 and try that on your own with partial products. All right, 3 times 92. All right, so let's try 3 times 10 first. That'll give me 30. That's a good chunk. Now I have 62. I'm just going to take out 3 times 10 again. $32, 3 times 10, 32. There's nothing times 3 that equals 2. 10, 10, 10. I have my remainder of 2. 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. So I have 30 remainder 2. Now, if you saw earlier before and were like, wait, I could have at least done 33 times 20 and gotten 60 there and solved this problem a lot faster. Or 3 times 30 would have given me 90. That's totally fine. Or if you used even smaller numbers than I did, as long as you got 30 remainder 2, you are absolutely golden. All right, let's go ahead and have you try this one on your own. $493 divided by 7. Go ahead and try that one on your own. All right, so I'm going to start off by drawing my big 7. It helps keep me organized and keep my numbers separated. 7 times what? Okay, and remember, this is always the number that I'm multiplying my groups by. Okay, well, 7 times 100 is definitely going to be too big. That'll give me 700. Let's start thinking of some basic facts. Well, 7 times 5, I always know my 5s. So let's do 7 times 50, which is going to give me 350. 143? Huh, that 14 looks familiar. Let's do 7 times 20. That gives me 140. There's nothing times 7 that'll get me 3, so I know the 3 is my remainder. And I have 50 plus 20, which gives me 70. 70 remainder 3. All right, I'm gonna have you try one more and then you can work on your exit ticket. So let's do 5 divided by 894. Go ahead and try that on your own. All right, I'm drawing my big 7 to keep me organized. Now in this case, I can do 5 times 100, which is going to give me 500 because my number is greater. I have a large number here. So now I have 494 left. Well, that's too big for 5 times 100, so let's go a little bit smaller. I know that 5 times 9 is 45, so let's do 5 times 90. That's 450. 44, 5 times 8 is 40. And now I have a 4 left. 4 times what gives me 5? Nothing. So I'm going to have a remainder of 4. And now all I got to do is add these numbers up. 190 plus 8, and I have 198 remainder 4. All right, I hope that has made partial products and the big 7 quite a bit clearer for you.